Good day everyone. So you probably have been told that Nilou should have been released after Nahida or during Nilou's ban and so on. A lot of people have said, oh, beware of Nilou, unless you are some sort of person that wants to pull for future potential and all this nonsense people can speak of. And honestly, if you look at Nilou's performance, before even Nahida herself was released, Nilou has been fine. She's been fine all of this time. And this is the crazy thing to me. When I look on the internet, I don't see a lot of people suddenly saying, ooh, Nilou is fixed or Nahida has changed Nilou forever. No, in fact, one of the things you see on the internet is exactly how many other teams and how many other characters Nahida has actually sort of helped along. And this is what's gotten a lot of the community excited, because there are so many new and different ways of actually playing their team. So what has Nahida done for Nilou? Well, this is the same thing that she's done for every other Dendro team. She's bringing consistency of Dendro application in a very wide area with damage. So for instance, if you look on screen, that guy way there at the back, yeah, Nahida can hit him, whereas Kole and the Traveler cannot. This is Nahida's value proposition to the team. Now you might say, well, obviously this adds quite a bit of quality of life and therefore Nilou plays better, but I think this mistakes two kind of ways of thinking. So for instance, if I take Nilou and I put her into a freeze team with Ayaka and so on, she's very much playable. The only thing is that with Ayaka, you want Kokomi with Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayer and of course the Tenacity artifact set so that you can get the maximum value for Ayaka. This is the key thing. So when you add Nahida into Nilou's team, this in very much the same way is giving Nilou her maximum potential, or unleashing Nilou's maximum potential by putting in the correct units for her. But outside of having the unit Nahida, it's been perfectly functional. That's what I've been trying to show here in the background as well, with the Kole footage and so on in the beginning. You did not need Nahida in any way to sort of help Nilou. In fact, what Nahida is doing is she's just bringing out the full potential like no other character can. Just like in the Ayaka freeze team, you want to use Kokomi. If you look at the results from the GC sim and so on, Kokomi, Shenhe, Ayaka, and Kazuha are at the top. That is just what the maths says. That's what the simulations say. It's not, ooh, you can unleash Ayaka's full potential by using Mona instead of Kokomi. Kokomi is at the top. That is what Kokomi's contribution is. And in very much the same way, Nilou's full potential is being really realized by having Nahida right here, and this is the key thing. I think this is the key way of thinking about this interaction. But make no mistake, Nilou herself is still very strong without Nahida, and of course Nilou herself, outside of her niche, outside of any Bloom or whatever sort of teams, she is still functional enough for you to run in a freeze team, or if you're feeling adventurous, you can do little fun vape bombs and so on. They're also quite entertaining. But the point is, you can still get good enough results to clear the Spiral Abyss in most situations. And if you use her for what she was designed to do, you'll still be very happy. And in fact, I'd argue, put Nahida on the second half with the sort of Aggravate team, and hey, as an F2P, Nilou first half, Nahida second half, boom, 36 stars. And I think this also then speaks to the broader principle that a lot of people think almost too absolutely when they judge characters. In other words, they'll say, oh, why do you want to use Nilou in a freeze team? Just use X. But the thing is like I've explained in many videos, what you need to realize as a player is that if a character, let's say the meta character, in this case Kokomi in the freeze teams, defines the power level at 100%, and you need 50% of that power level to clear the Spiral Abyss, and your Nilou sits at 75 and your Mona sits at 85 and whatever, then that is good enough. It's not the absolute value that is sort of important here. It is relative to an established standard. How good is this character? Are they functional enough? And if we take an honest look at a character and we truly play the character at their highest potential, and we find, yeah, this character doesn't work, then we can make a value judgment on them. But if they are good enough, in most cases, even though that might be awkward, we'll just acknowledge it as it is, but we won't suddenly just trash a character or say, yeah, but you can do better with another character. I mean, this is the whole point of like Genshin Impact. There are going to be units that will slot in into certain teams, but other units will slot in better to bring out those characters' full potential in a way that no other characters can. And this is what we mean when we say from a full meta, like speed running super fast perspective, a unit is irreplaceable. It's when no other unit can bring out the entire team's full potential as they do. In this case, just the absence of having that unit is not going to be enough to knock another unit's potential, which I think is arguably the big thing that a lot of people kind of missed with Nilou. But yeah, I mean, in conclusion, I like Nilou, I like Kokomi and Nahida. The trio is really, really, really good.